Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Charlotte and this is Happy Twins 1111 Tarot. Before I start with our reading today, just want to remind you that I'm going live on YouTube on Monday the 11th of February at 11 PM GMT, that's UK London time. I'll be doing short channeled readings for anyone that shows up to watch and would like a reading. So it'll be done on a first come first served basis. You just have to comment and I'll do as many readings as I can in the time that I'm there, at least for 1 hour. If you're not sure what format I'm working when I'm doing the short channeled readings, have a look at the channeled messages readings I've posted recently. It'll be along those lines. So I'll be working with the tarot and my guide Arthur to channel messages to anyone that shows up that would like some guidance. So that's at 11 PM, Monday the 11th. Do check what time that corresponds to in your own country. I know it's about 6 PM EST, but if you're not in that part of America or you're somewhere else in the world, I'm on 11 PM GMT London time zone, so just check what time that corresponds next Monday and I look forward to seeing you then. I will do those live readings quite regularly. If a few of you turn up and it seems worthwhile, I'll try and make it a regular Monday night thing. I think it's a lovely way to connect with you and also give you all an opportunity to get a reading specifically for yourselves. Also, I've got a special Valentines offer on from today. That will run to the end of the week, which will allow a short 6-card reading and channeled messages from Arthur, answering any questions you want about your twin flame or soulmate communication or love, anything you want. And that will be £11.11. And that's running until the end of this week. So if you would like a quick reading from me, I will send you a video of it as well, so that you have a private link on YouTube and only you can see it. So that information is in the description box below. Same for if you're interested in what decks I'm using today, that information is also down below. And you can also find information there about how to get a full reading from me. So today I'm going to be doing pick a card. And the question that we're asking the cards today is, what can I do to move into union? I feel like this is something a lot of twins avoid. They're desperate to see readings about, you know, how's my twin feeling about me? What are they doing? Where are they? How's it going with their karmic? When am I going to see them again? All those kinds of questions, which are really useful and comforting. But I feel like the most important part of this journey is often missed, which is to heal yourself and to learn to love yourself. That's why twins come into the equation for us. They're mirrors to show us what we need to heal internally so that we can have the unconditional love and acceptance for ourselves. And, you know, twins can't come into union until they each have that. And it's an inside job. We've both got to do that work individually. There are definitely things you can do to help your twin along their own part of the journey. But ultimately, you really need to focus on your own. So that's what this reading is for today. So I'm going to shuffle and choose the cards in front of you. There'll be 6 cards for each pile. By all means, pause the video. Once I'm done, take your time choosing which pile you want. And these messages are for the divine masculine or feminine. You know, they're messages for either of you. So whichever pile you choose, we're going to look at how you can move forward on this journey for your highest, greatest good and that of your twin, so that you can, you know, take that step closer to union. And if you hear me pause whilst I'm reading, please do be patient with me. I do channel my guide Arthur while I'm working with tarot. So if you hear me pause for a moment, just bear with me. So that's 6. Yes. So that's pile number 1. So there is a photo of the pile at the very beginning of the video as the thumbnail. You can either choose that or just, you know, pause the video and douse, or whatever feels comfortable to you. So that's pile number 2. There's also timestamps below, so that once you've chosen the pile you want, you can find the timestamp to go directly to the reading for your pile, so you don't have to watch through the whole video. That's pile number 3. And that's pile number 4. So I'm just going to leave those up there as we work through each pile. So pile number 1, what can you do to help move into union? So we've got a lot of reversals and blocked energy here. So I'm just going to show you which cards we have. We've got the 6 of Swords. We have the Knight of Crystals, which is also known as Pentacles. It's crystals in this deck. We have the Hierophant in reverse. We have the Page of Crystals, or Pentacles as it's known, in reverse. The 10 of Wands in reverse. And the King of Cups in reverse. I hope you can see those. So Arthur's telling me that you're not doing the work you need to be doing. You're not connected to the divine. You're not connected to your higher spiritual self as powerfully as you could be. And you need to make that transition. This is what the 6 of Swords is about. It's about, moving into that. And I think in this deck it's particularly beautiful that she's literally stepping into divine light. From this rocky kind of, from this rocky, uncomfortable, difficult space that's harder to navigate. You're stepping into divine light, and that's what you really need to be doing. And we see this reflected as well with this Knight of Crystals and him holding this crystal and summoning the divine light. And in this card we also see, the moon, which for me is always a symbol of trusting self and trusting one's own intuition. You've not been doing this work. And, when a card comes up reversed, to me, it's a blocked energy. We need to turn it upright. And the Hierophant is all about, understanding that there is a universal higher power that you can tap into to get strength from. The Page of Crystals in reverse is much the same. I feel like this is where you're actually at. You need to be at the Knight of Crystals, but you're in this much kind of slower, Arthur's telling me you're just not giving it enough time and space. You think about it a lot, and actually you may have the perception that you're doing this work, but there's no consistency there, and you just don't dedicate enough time to it. So again, we need to unblock that energy. And with the 10 of Wands here, this is very much about not doing that work. It's about avoiding it. And Arthur's telling me, pardon me, that there are a lot of inner wounds to be healed here, and you've not really felt ready to address them. There's trust issues, definitely, that you need to work through. And I'm being shown that they stem back from much earlier relationships, that they're nothing to do with this relationship with your twin. And because you haven't learned from those lessons, you've not processed that information, you've not been able to acknowledge and release that learning. And Arthur's telling me that, when you have a bad experience with a person, even though we may resent it and it's hard and painful, it teaches you. It's an important part of your journey. And in avoiding it, in not facing it head on, you're carrying that karma, the bad feelings associated with that forward into the rest of your life, into new relationships. So sometimes, we just think, I don't want to think about that person. I don't want to think about what they did. But you're subconsciously holding on to that. And, so you will continue to be triggered when you encounter similar behaviour, similar circumstances, similar people. And you won't consciously be aware of why you've been triggered, but it's because you've not done that work in healing from that trauma. So there's a lot of trust issues, and I feel like it's not just trust in love, from loving and romantic relationships. This goes back to childhood as well. This is about trusting that you're going to be supported, trusting that you're going to be loved. And Arthur's saying you have to trust self first. Once you trust self as well, you can release those trust issues that you're holding on to from other times in your lifetime. And trusting yourself first, you know, you have to give yourself that love and acceptance. You have to tap into this spiritual intuition that allows you to just know what's right for you and to learn to trust your gut. So what often... So Arthur's explaining to me as well, when we don't trust ourselves, that's when we make poor decisions, because we may make a decision based on our wants and needs, which are ego, rather than what our gut is telling us. As an example, you might see, I don't know, you might see a really beautiful pair of shoes you want, and you know, you're absolutely in love with them, you can't really afford them now, and you've got this really funny feeling in your tummy saying you shouldn't really buy these, this isn't a good time, but you just want them so bad you go ahead and buy them anyway. And then, I don't know, you go out in them and you break the heel on the first night you wear them. It's probably a really poor analogy, but the point of this is you didn't trust your gut feeling that was saying, look, I know you really want these, but it's just no. And sometimes we just have to pause and tap into those higher senses that aren't rational or logical. You don't need to rationalize those feelings. You just need to trust them. When it feels wrong or bad or uncomfortable, when you feel resistance, trust that that's a no, that you shouldn't take action, you shouldn't move forward with whatever it is you were querying about. When it's a good, positive feeling, even when it doesn't seem rational or logical to proceed, if you're feeling compelled and it's, you know, it feels like a really positive thing to do from your heart space, then you should proceed. So Arthur's really shown me that, you know, you have a lot of trust issues with self and others. It's others that have caused you to doubt self because you've taken on board their negative suggestions about you, their behaviour, their untrustworthy behaviour has made you feel that you're not worth more. But you know, that you need to get rid of that programming. I'm also being shown that you really need to step into a much more mature place emotionally. You know, this King of Cups energy is reversed and blocked, and you need to you need to start reining in your emotions and knowing that it's no one else's job to fulfill you, to make you happy, to make you feel loved. And Arthur's showing me that you have big expectations, not just of your twin, but of others, and you often feel very hurt when they don't meet those expectations. And he's showing to me, but you know, this is self-fulfilling. You can't place your needs and expectations on others. And because you can't control them, that's not a safe place for you to get the love, acceptance and joy that you need in life. You can't leave that responsibility with others. So you need to start looking at this maturely, and once you step into your higher self, you know, and connect into this spiritual energy that you can draw so much power from, you'll begin to understand that you can give yourself all of those things and that you don't need them from outside of you. And that's releasing attachment, not just to your twin, but to anybody. And that's when you step into your own true power and are able to really move forward towards union. As I said at the beginning of this video, if you're not loving yourself unconditionally and coming from this place of stability, in a balance, in a knowing, in a peace, being able to give yourself everything you need, you're not going to be able to go into union, because you're going to step into union with unhealthy attachments and unhealthy expectations. You're going to get frustrated when your twin doesn't deliver on those expectations, and that's not the healthy dynamic that twin union is about. So in terms of what you need to do to hold yourself back, you need to make that transition now, and you need to start, you know, really owning your responsibility for loving self. You can't keep putting that on people outside of you. You know, sometimes it's really easy to think, oh, my parents don't love me enough, I'm really angry with them. You know, my best friend didn't do this for me when she promised to, and she let me down, and I'm really angry with her. My twin did this and someone else did that. You know, you have to remember that you have no control, over how anyone else behaves. Your only power is in how you respond. And if you're going to go through life having these expectations and needs and attachments to other people and being attached to the outcome, you're going to go through life disappointed, because not everyone is going to be able to meet your needs, and it's not their obligation or place to. You shouldn't be, you know, demanding that of them. That's not unconditional love towards them, and it's not unconditional love for yourself. Just see if Arthur's got anything else to say before we move on. So Arthur's showing me as well that you do touch that higher power. You're just not holding on to it and carrying it with you because you're missing this lesson of self-love. You know, you're doing the meditating, you're doing healing, you know, you're doing these things, but you're not actually focused on self-love, and you're still projecting outwards when you get these triggers that make you feel pain, hurt, disappointment, regret. When you're triggered to feel this way, you're not acknowledging that trigger in itself is what you need to fix, not the person that's bringing that trigger towards you. So he's saying you need to affirm that you love and accept yourself. You need to affirm that all the time. And when you feel resistance, pain, hurt, any of those things, you need to ask yourself, what do I need to heal inside of me so that I can release this feeling that doesn't serve me? Because it's not really about the other person. You can't control what's outside of you, only what's inside of you. So I hope that helped, pile one. Pile two, let's see what we've got for you. It's a lot of blocked energy again. So only two of these are upright. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what cards we've got. We've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Eight of Wands in reverse. We've got the Ten of Swords in reverse. Nine of Swords upright. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And the Lovers upright. And I think, I guess it's kind of obvious we'd get a lot of reverse cards and blocked energies if we're looking at what we can do to move towards union. So in the case of... hold on, sorry, Arthur's trying to say something. Okay, so Arthur's showing me that these things that are coming up today are actually very relevant for the whole collective, and that this one in particular. The Page of Pentacles in reverse, he's showing me in relation to this question in this context, it's really about not truly embracing and holding on to and moving forward with that spiritual development. It's kind of almost like slippy hands. You kind of can't quite hold on to it, that feeling of not being completely grounded in it. And we see this reflected again with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which is not tapping into that abundant energy, healing and love that is available to you when you connect to Source. And if you've chosen this path, you know, you're really resisting all of those rapid incoming messages that your guides, the divine, are trying to send you to show you how you need to heal. You're just not listening to your higher self. You're not listening to your guides. And Arthur's telling me, for those of you that don't hear your guides, that aren't connected to them in that way, you need to know that they reach you in other ways. You know, if you've not done the work to be able to tap in and communicate with them, and that's a whole other subject, but, you know, the songs you're hearing, the books you're reading, the things you're watching on television, all of the messages that you need are reaching you. You're just not acknowledging them. You need to look for deeper meaning in these things and understand what it is you need to do to heal, because you're really avoiding it. And in doing so, you're stuck. You know, if you've chosen this path, you're stuck in this pain. You're stuck in this nightmare place, which a lot of twins go through, that really painful point where you're in separation, you're twins on your mind non-stop, you can't move forward and you're stuck and you're hurting. And you just, you know, it's a really desperate and unpleasant place to be. I know that every twin can relate to it because we have all been there. But, you know, once you allow yourself to start processing this and to take these steps in your spiritual development, you know, that's when you can turn this upright and complete that learning. You know, this is number 10, it's the number of completion, but it's blocked. Okay, you're not acknowledging the work you need to do. You need to understand that you can release yourself. And, you know, with this one upright, I'm showing that this is where you're stuck. You're stuck in this Nine of Swords nightmare, really painful energy. And in being so, in focusing on all those negative feelings, all that unpleasantness, you're blocking your own abundance, you're blocking your own balanced energy, you're blocking your ability to really move forward and appreciate the gifts of this journey. And, we have the lovers here. And I think in this deck, these are mirror images of one another. It's about twins. And, with this card coming up, you really need to keep the faith. I feel like you're actually in this mindset of, I don't want this anymore. I'm so sick of feeling this way. I want to forget my twin. I want to detach from my twin. I want to cut cords. How do I stop this craziness? How do I stop myself from feeling so dislocated, unstable, and in so much pain? And you're not acknowledging, the blessings. And the twin flame journey really is a blessing, and it's a blessing for you, okay? It's not just for your twin. It's a true blessing for you because it's what drives you into a place of complete joy, peace, trust, self-love, and abundance. It's about unconditional love for yourself, about learning that when you embrace this higher power, when you do this inner work, you're going to be able to turn that Queen of Pentacles energy upright, and you're going to be abundant, grounded, stable, emotionally satisfied, and full of unconditional love. And not only are you not in that Queen of Pentacles place, but you're stuck at the beginning of this journey not doing that work. And so don't lose faith. Know that your twin serves you, and you may be angry with them right now. You may be really hurt. You may be asking yourself, why do I allow this person to keep disappearing or treating me in unpleasant or unhealthy ways? And you have to remember that they're mirroring you. It might not be the case that you're behaving in the same way, but they're mirroring what you believe about yourself. They're giving you what you believe you deserve. It all boils down to self-worth. You can only meet someone as far as you've met yourself. When you step into this Queen of Pentacles energy and you are in a place of true self-love, true unconditional self-love, you will attract everything of the same. You will attract healthy relationships that you're worthy of. But right now you're attracting exactly what you think you're worthy of, which is, all of these reversals, pain, nightmare, lack of self-worth, lack of self-love. And you're not trusting this journey. You're not appreciating it for what it is. And that's what you need to focus on the most. You need to understand that the twin flame journey is first and foremost about you. It's to serve you. That's why this is a mirror image of two people. Yeah, your twin is just your soul in another body, and he or she is going through the same pain, self-worth issues. That they might, look different to yours, but at the root, in terms of how we feel, they're the same. And you will attract, like attracts like. You will attract to you that which you believe you deserve. So, you need to step out of this very negative mindset. You need to turn this energy upright and start appreciating your blessings. And you are blessed. Arthur's telling me you are so blessed, but you just don't see. When we think of ourselves as being lucky or blessed, a lot of people are thinking about that with their ego. They're thinking, I don't have a nice house. I'm not lucky. I don't have a fantastic job that pays me a ton of money. I'm not lucky. But that's ego talking. Real blessings are, from the heart. And, even if you don't have the nicest house, to have any house, to have a warm bed to go home to is still more than millions and millions of people have. It's about being grateful for what you do have and counting your blessings. I feel like you're in a really negative place and that you're not being gracious about what this life has gifted you so far. And it's already there. You just need to step into it. And Arthur's telling me you sometimes don't know how to heal yourself. And so he's asked me to go back to this card and to understand that all of the messages you need to direct your course of action, the right course of action, are coming to you. You're just ignoring them. This will be in the things you choose to read, in the videos you choose to watch, like this one today, in the songs that come on the radio or crop up on your playlist. in words you hear outside of you. If you're not able to connect internally yet, trust that your guides will find ways to reach you that you can pick up on. But you have to acknowledge those, you have to give them thought and time, and you have to take action. Arthur's telling me that you're just not taking enough action. You're hearing this stuff, you're digesting it. Quite often you're understanding and accepting the information is coming to you, but you're not taking action, you're not doing the work. Hope that helps. Pile 2. So we have the Three of Wands upright, the King of Cups upright, the Tower upright, Temperance upright, Judgment upright, and the Queen of Cups. I feel it is important to know I don't read with reversals in this deck, so we weren't going to get any blocked energies notices from the actual position of the cards anyway. Okay, if you've picked this part, you're actually very close to union. We've got a lot of major arcana cards here. You're very close to union. You've done a lot of work. Arthur's telling me you're so balanced right now. You're really stepping into this beautiful feeling of joy. I'm getting so much joy here, and also a real strong feeling of satisfaction of having done that work and found yourself in this place of just feeling really good. There is a karmic still involved here. There's the karmic partner on either your side or your twin side. And I'm being shown that you're going to have your tower moment with that soon, whether it's you or your twin. That is coming to an end. And there's a lot of Scorpio energy here, a lot of watery energy anyway, but specifically I'm being shown that we've got a 3, a King of Cups, Scorpio, and then the Tower. And Arthur's saying, you know, there's a karmic third-party situation coming to a dramatic end very, very soon, possibly with a Scorpio karmic partner. Or this could represent the star sign of the twin that is having that separation. Post that, you are stepping into a really incredible place. You've got Temperance here, which is the card of perfect balance, a perfect mix. It's about both parties coming into union from having done that work, from having reached this awakening phase, from having ascended. And we've also got the Queen of Cups, which is this very nurturing energy. In fact, I'm called to say, this doesn't necessarily have to be a Scorpio energy. These two cards represent that union, but I'm feeling like it's the divine masculine. Not necessarily a Scorpio, it's the divine masculine that is ending a karmic situation very soon. And this is going to allow and make space for union, because both of these twins have actually done a lot of work. But the twin without the karmic partner, and I'm thinking this is the viewer, you need to hold yourself. You need to trust that the wait is over. Arthur's showing me there is still some work to do because you're not quite trusting this journey. You want to believe in union now. You've done so much work. You're in such a happy, healthy place. But there's doubt there. He's showing me, like, on this scale of where you're at in union, it's a chink of a way to go. And it's doubt that is holding you back. He's also saying when you don't have clarity, when you don't have information about your twin, you find it really hard to trust that he or she is still waiting for you, still wanting you. And he's saying that's, you know, that trust, that this is the last part of your journey, to trust and to not have doubt in that journey, to believe that everything is as it's meant to be and that union will come to you at the right time. It's about divine timing. But you've done a tremendous amount of work, and you're being called to really nurture yourself, you know, at this time, because, you know, even though union is coming to you fairly quickly, You don't have any control over this karmic situation. That has to happen in its own time and of its own accord, and the people involved in it have to deal with things at their own pace. You have no control over that. Your control is in holding onto this beautiful mix of balance, self-love, unconditional love, and ascension that you have stepped into. You're nearly there. And I'm being shown that your twin isn't quite ready. It's what we're seeing here with this karmic breakup. They're a little bit further behind. So he's showing me you on a kind of almost like a trail of who's further ahead. And you're just that little bit further ahead. And this way he's asking you to keep the faith at this time because you're so close. Even in this card, you can see she's reaching. She's reaching. She's just almost there. And you just need to keep that faith, keep that trust. You're also very, very healing. You need to heal yourself more to remove this doubt, pardon me, and these trust issues that you have inside of you relating to this journey, specifically relating to your twin. But you also need to send healing to your twin because he or she is really going to need it. And I'm feeling like this is a divine masculine, actually, that's going to go through this this karmic separation finally. That they're going to need your healing. So as well as healing yourself, concentrate on, when you're receiving that healing, on being connected to your twin from the heart chakra here in your chest. You know, visualizing them in front of you and then receiving that healing at the same time, because they're going to need it through this part of their journey. But once that's done, union is imminent. You will do your work before they have. You will pick them to that post. But once they've done their work, you can come together. This is a really positive one for you, pile 3. Hope that helped. So we have the Hermit reversed. It's another one that's not doing the work. Wow. Okay, so I feel like this is someone that's fairly new to the twin flame journey, and they've just not stepped into this place yet. They've not accepted that, separation serves you, that this is part of what you need to do. If you turn this upright, you've got this Hermit energy where you're stepping into your own light, doing that in a work, doing that in a reflection, and it's a number 9. It's moving forward quite rapidly in that journey. I'm being shown that you're still trying to rationalise this. You're so up in your head about the rights and wrongs, the conscious. Why am I letting someone treat me this way? Why hasn't he or she been in touch? Why am I stuck in this place? And you're very focused as well on your desire of what you want out of it, which is this happily ever after abundant situation, but you're not seeing that in between bit. You're not seeing it. And I feel like actually as well, you're not confident in this twin flame connection. We've got the 6 of Cups in reverse here, which is showing me, you're not fully on board. You're not sure if you believe in that yet. I'm showing this again with Justice, which is number 11 reversed. You've got mostly reverse cards here. So these are the cards you've got in reverse. This is the work you're meant to be doing, the Hermit. This is the soulmate card. This is about acknowledging that connection and, the karma, resolving that karma, understanding this 11 journey, that it serves you. And you're stuck in this intellectual viewpoint, which keeps trying to rationalize it. I feel like you perhaps weren't a very spiritual person before this happened to you. You weren't even that open-minded. So it's quite difficult for you to come to terms with that you've been thrust into this journey. And you're focused on what you want, but you're not seeing that middle bit, that to get union, to get what you want, to get all of that loving, grounded, earthly connection and abundance with this person, you have to do the work. And, you know, it is making you very unhappy being stuck in this place. We've got the sun here in reverse. So, you know, there's a lot of major arcana cards here as well, which, you know, the blocked cards that are in reverse. So you're really not seeing some very important lessons. And the first one is that joy is an inside job. Yeah, this may bring you happiness and joy, but you can never rely on that. That has to come from inside of you. You can't get outside of you what you don't already have inside of you. And actually, when you turn this upright, it won't matter if you have this or not. Yeah, this is what real joy is. It's about that inside feeling. You choose every day whether you're happy or not. And when you have that, you know, you can be happy about anything in your life. That's not to say you won't have pain or trauma, because that's life. That's how we learn and evolve and ascend. But, you know, happiness is a choice and it's an inside job. And right now you're pinning your happiness on an outcome. You're attached to the outcome of this situation, whereas you're missing that the ultimate outcome is to be happy in yourself, to have self-love and acceptance. And the reason you're ignoring these lessons is because you're stuck in this intellectual headspace where you're trying to rationalize it. And until you can step out of that and connect with your spirituality, connect with the learning, the healing, the lessons that are being presented to you as part of this twin flame journey, you're not going to be able to unblock these energies. So, you know, you need to stop focusing on what is, what appeals tangible and real in your earthly world. What you see in front of you isn't the only reality. You know, that's your 3D reality. That's what your eyes show you. Your conscious mind, this bit that you're stuck in, that's only 15% of who you are. That's what science teaches us. Your subconscious mind is all-knowing, and you connect with it from doing this hermit work, from stepping into that spiritual place and activating your own inner light so that you can see more clearly, you can see the bigger picture. And all of the information you need is inside of your subconscious. When you tap into that knowing, you will know what to do. Arthur's telling me you were definitely a huge skeptic. You weren't open-minded to your own spirituality. You may have believed in spirituality outside of you, but you didn't see that you were this person. And he's telling me actually you have a very bright inner light, but you're struggling to move on to this path. You're embarrassed about what it's going to mean for you moving forward. But you are a light worker. You are you're a strong, strong healer and light worker. And, you know, this journey is about understanding your own path, understanding, and, you know, fate will bring you there kicking and screaming, whether you like it or not. You will keep facing this same cycle until you learn the lesson and step into your true self. And that's primarily what you're being called to do. Stop focusing on your twin. Stop focusing on, you know, what life you want with them, and trying to rationalize why they're not here, why it's not working. Is it because I said this? Is it because I said that? Is it because I didn't do this properly? You know, the reason they're not with you, the reason you're in separation is because you've not done this work. Okay? You're not connecting with self. You're not connecting with self-love, self-acceptance, the unconditional self-love you need inside. And you're definitely not a happy person. You're not counting your blessings, and you're not seeing your true path. You're very resistant to the spiritual aspects of this journey. You love the idea of a soulmate twin flame connection, but you're not really stepping into it. You're rejecting the higher power that brings you and not seeing how important it is. You can't run away from this connection as much as you would like to. And I know your rational head, your intellectual mind is trying to get you to cut through this, to cut the cords, to do, you know, this work to get away from this situation. And you swing between this and imagining what kind of life you could have with this person. You need to start designing your life from the inside by healing self and then you can have this. And you can turn, when these are all upright, they are so beautiful. You know, assuming these are all blocked energies that you need to release, look at how it looks upright. You're connected to your spiritual self. Yeah, that doesn't mean letting go of your intellectual mind. That serves you. It serves you in your conscious 3D life. But you can have that abundance. You can have this beautiful soul connection. You can get balance on your personal inner path and journey, and you can be happy. So please, you know, start doing that work. You know how to do it, Arthur is telling me. You just don't want to because you don't feel like this is for you. Somehow you're arrogant enough to believe you can skip this part of the journey and that your twin's going to come back. They're not. They're not until you've done this work. That's ego talking. That's not your higher self, the bit that knows speaking to you. So you need to meditate. You need to tap into your higher self. So I hope that helps, guys. Do comment, like, share and subscribe. Let me know down below what you thought. I'm always happy to hear from you. And remember, I'm going to be live next week, Monday the 11th at 11 p.m. GMT, doing readings just like this one for you. So you can come along, comment, say, I'd like a reading. I'll be doing that live and trying to serve as many of you as I can. Remember as well, I've also got that special Valentine's offer for love reading this weekend, whether it's your twin, soulmate or another relationship that's romantic. That's £11.11, and you can find the information in the description box below. That will run till Sunday. Thank you so much. See you soon.